Go live. Oh, okay. All right. You just know you're gonna like it. Didn't it look different with the black? I did that because there's like a glare on my glasses because I didn't get the anti-glare. But there's other things that you can do to take off the glare. I didn't know it was so bad. Having the black screen though, it does help the glare a little bit. You should see it with the white. Well, you will get to see it with the white screen some, because I'm going to be putting things in the background here that are white. So we'll deal with that, so that I'm not all glared up. So I'm not glaring at you. Okay, let's see what we got. It looks so different. Yeah, I was researching a little bit here. Alright, yeah, that looks really weird. Okay, this is my Twitter. Woo! Okay, so something major is like happening right now as we speak. We have got a plane, a military plane that came into Russia, or let's see, it's Yesk Kerzdov Kray. I don't know. Let's look at it just for a second, and then I'll go show you the other stuff I found. We'll find out more. It's just happened. Like
От дерева листья летят. Бедные люди,
residential
ёбаный рот.
building. That's all I know right now. This was the first picture I saw. That's massive. Huge airplane, military. Look at this. It's got the guy ejected. So I don't know if it was just going down, you know, or if it was intentional or what. You just don't know. Okay, so don't know if this is it or, oh, there was a Fox News report. Let me find that. There was a bunch of drones too yesterday. Here it is. Oh no, this is about the drones.
From the debris.
Right now, rescue workers are digging through the rubble looking for survivors. In the aftermath of this drone attack, the Russians say they are only targeting military positions, but it's simply not true. This is a residential block near the city center.
61-year-old Irina Kotova lives next door and was sheltering in her parking garage when the blast occurred. When explosions happen next to you, it's awful, it's terrifying, Irina says. I don't know what to do next. Irina's neighborhood wasn't the only location damaged in the Russian attack. 28 drones were launched toward Kyiv today, all but 5 were shot down, according to Kyiv's mayor, Vitaly Klitschko.
We ask our partner to support Ukraine. We need modern defense.
Sorry, I have to go back and look at this. Look at that on his shoulder. He's got an angel on his shoulder, but that could be a good angel or a bad angel. We don't know. Look at that. It could be a saint or something like that too. We don't know what that stands for, but if anybody knows, tell me.
We ask our partner to support Ukraine. We need modern defensive weapon.
He looks sort
We
of
spoke
like
with
a Nephilim.
multiple Ukrainian officials who stressed the need for more air defense
Deep
systems.
voice and
Today, Ukrainian
big
soldiers and police
jawbones.
officers resorted to firing on these Iranian-made drones with assault rifles. Bill.
Wow, Trey Yingst, thanks,
Can
live
you
in
guys hear
Kyiv.
me okay?
Thank you.
Am I coming in clear?
Ukrainian officials who stressed the need for more air defense systems. Today, Ukrainian soldiers and police officers resorted
I'm kind of quiet, aren't I? Is that Sputsy in there? Hey, Sputsy. Good afternoon. My sweet sister. Okay. So, yeah, let me look and see. This looks so different. Mauna Loa is gonna blow again. Here's the fentanyl. We're gonna get into that one. Shout out to Segway for that one. Alright, let's see what we got here.
Охренеть! Снаряд упал. Прямо к Ламиатиду, в дом. Там дома нет. Дома нету. Прям подъезд весь снесло. Охереть! Охереть! Ого!
Летел туда, все там самолет.
Какой самолет?
Ребят, что-то, блин, упало или что-то там взорвалось, хрен поймешь. И взрывы продолжаются, что случилось? Кто в курсе, пишите в комментариях.
One after another, I guess. I think there's like 3 or 4 of them.
Я видела парашюты. Может, это самолет наш упал?
Может быть.
Потому что я видела парашюты.
ЧП есть. Это самолет упал.
Самолет упал?
Да.
Ну я поняла, потому что парашюты я видела.
Так там же, блядь, ракеты, ёб твою мать, там люди.
Уже написали, да, что самолет?
Да и какой? Кружит вот второй.
Значит, самолет, да, глупые.
Там, а там пиропатроны у него.
Ближе свет везде горит. Я бы уже нахер, которая рядом дома, не бежала. От 9-этажки свет. Чего, они не боятся, что ли?
Твою мать. Там же, блядь, снаряды у него.
Где пожарников не вижу.
Да все едут уже.
Вчера слышу, случилось.
Там, ебать, девятиэтажка сгорела нахер.
Ну, мне кажется, в девятиэтажке горит свет.
Да какой свет, он горит, девятиэтажка уже. Вся вон, все 9
А
этажей.
что ж магнит? Юрий позвонил, что там?
That's so crazy. So much going on in the world right now. All right. Well, we are going to skim around the hokey pokey, okay? We're just going to skim around it and just touch base with a little bit of things, and hopefully I do it properly, because all I can do is report the news and not get into what it's made of and all of that. So in high school in Kentucky, Bellevue, they have canceled the rest of the football season due to lack of healthy players. It doesn't go into it, and I don't want to go into it, but you can just imagine. Alright, we've got the Sheikh Mansour heads a meeting of Mubadala's executive committee of board of directors. Not sure what this entails, but I am keeping an eye on these Arab countries that are near Saudi Arabia, the UAE, Abu Dhabi, because this is where the Antichrist, I believe, will come out of. Somewhere around the Iraq-Iran border, which this country is like straight down from it. So just keep an eye on that guy. This one was that one we just saw. Breaking news. There's an hour ago. Residential area was hit by a military Russian aircraft.
Там что-то взрывается.
Либо сюда. Заходи, не да.
Emergency crews rescue an elderly woman before carrying away the body of a man who was pulled from the debris.
Right now, rescue workers are digging through the rubble looking for survivors. In the aftermath of this drone attack, the Russians say they are only targeting military positions, but it's simply not true. This is a residential block near the city center.
Okay, let's see if it says anything where it's at. Yes. Let's find that map. Saying Russia. Oh. So, was it a Russian plane that fell into a Russian residential area? Let me... Russian military plane crashed into residential building. Let's just look and see. A large fireball visible. It was in Russia. An Su-34. A Russian military aircraft crashed into a residential building in Russia. So it wasn't in Ukraine, it was in Russia. South Russia. So they got all these kamikaze drones from Iran.
60
and they've been using them. So let's just look at this one. This is from a drone from Russia to Ukraine. They're trying to find survivors. That one was 8 hours ago. Body cam footage, drones in Kyiv. They're gonna shoot him down. And they're using the police? Didn't it? Okay, more footage from Kyiv. Gunfire, missile likely trying to shoot down the drone, and a short buzzing sound from the drone before the explosion. That was massive. Oh my gosh. Get me out of here. All the car alarms going off. Sorry, I can't stop watching it. That's so crazy. All right, here we go. Some more drone footage. Or not, well, footage of a drone. Causing troubles. That almost looks fake to me, but I don't want to be rude. It is bad. It's bad. I'm not going to say it's fake, but just, you know, sometimes things catch your eye. I can't play this guy. He's got some good stuff to say, though. And, you know, we are going to go on the outskirts, but I can't play him. He's targeted bad. Alright, and then Julian Assange. This is something he said about Afghanistan before they locked him up.
Because the goal is not to completely subjugate Afghanistan. The goal is to use Afghanistan to wash money out of the tax bases of the United States, out of the tax bases of European countries, through Afghanistan and back into the hands of a transnational security elite. That is the goal, i.e. the goal is to have an endless war, not a successful war.
That sounds a lot like Ukraine to me. I mean, I'm sure it was for Afghanistan too, but alright, this is what's going on in Germany. We've got people that are still rioting in Germany and in France and Poland, that they're looking at starvation this winter. So they're kind of losing it. It's kind of like the Titanic when, you know, the first shot goes off and somebody dies, they're like, oh crap, we're going down, you know? I know those pains. That's very painful to watch. Okay. Oh, did you notice my blankie? Tennessee. Tennessee. We won. Oh, you guys, it was awesome. It was a real thrill. I wasn't really paying much attention the first half. And then I started watching, and it was about tied up about halfway. And it was going back and forth. And every time they would get a touchdown, and then we'd be like, oh no, and we get a touchdown. Oh no, you know, like, oh yay, we're ahead, and then back and forth, and then there was like, I don't know, 40 some points or something, maybe even up to 50. I'm not sure, but at the end, it was intense, and there was like, you know, minutes, like a minute left in the game, or 2 seconds left in the game, and there's a field goal, and there's overtime, and then you know, then we won, and then it was just like, like it was so stressful. The dog was even stressed out. And then everybody came down out of the stadium onto the field. It was just like a sea of orange. And they got the fence posts, or whatever you call them, the touchdown posts. And they started carrying it off. I don't know. There was talk like they were going to throw it in the river or something. I don't know. But we hadn't won in Alabama for so long. I think it was a home game, but we hadn't, you know, won the game with Alabama for years. So it was historic. It was very historic for football. But it's funny seeing this on here, Joe Biden. I could show you like a little clip of it maybe with my phone. Let's see. I was excited about it at the end. So is this it? Oh, 49-52. Play. Look at the crowd. They're going crazy. Can you see it? There he goes again. They got it. Look at that wobbly. 2 seconds. It looks so left leg. Look at how wobbly. Oh man, I didn't think he made it. Alabama lost. Rocky Top, Tennessee. Oh, we're still undefeated. Look at them all on the field. Oh, it's really dark, isn't it? What do you think, Mike? Incredible, he says. Tennessee. And it goes on for another minute, but I don't know if you can see me. Let me see. There you go. I see my glasses are all glary. It was fun. get you guys back over here. Do I have it in live chat? Okay. There we go. All right, so watch everybody when, I don't know who was playing when Joe Biden, his wife was there, but I think it's hilarious. Or at least a lot of them are. Okay, this, okay, we're on the outskirts here, and this is about the WHO, and she just asks him a question. I think I'm allowed to play.
Mr. Tedros, how are you? How are you, Mr. Tedros? Tamara Ugolini here with Rebel News, and I'm in Germany at the swanky Berlin Hotel in Central District, where the World Health Summit 2022 is taking place in partnership with the World Health Organization.
Look what it says right here, you guys. I told you this was coming up, those of you who are my friends in Discord. October the 16th through the 18th, that's now. They have got their plan to go with the, everyone's supposed to be bringing their rough draft of giving up their medical sovereignty of 100 and I think it was 94 nations, might have been more than that, to the WHO. So this is beginning right here. It's happening. It won't be long till they all sign it and come up with a final draft.
I've just asked the Director General of the WHO, that's the controversially appointed bureaucrat Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus, a question regarding the global lockdown policies his organization implemented at his direction.
The risk of returning to lockdown remains very real if countries do not manage the transition.
The transition to what? This new constitution? You know, where they give over their sovereignty if it's not a smooth transition. Let's hear what he says again.
If countries do not manage the transition.
The only way I was able to bring you,
if they don't have a smooth transition into this global medical sovereignty that gives our medical sovereignty over to the UN. I'm just thinking this could be the covenant with many. I'm not sure. It's called a constitution. It's also called, what did he call it? I listened to some of what he was saying. It was, slipping my mind. I can't remember.
This report was by reserving one night at this posh hotel because our media accreditation was.
Okay, she asks for money and then she confronts him. We'll go to the confrontation here.
Mr. Tedros, how are you? How are you, Mr. Tedros? If you could do lockdowns again.
He's happy. She's so pretty. He puts his arm around her. She's like, if you can do lockdowns again.
Would you do them? If you could do lockdowns again, would you support them? I'm sorry. Mr. Tedros, if you could do lockdowns again, would you support them?
She did it so nice and, you know, and everything, but the lady was still caught on and she's like getting in there, separating her. But to be able to do this, because they would not let her in to the medical questioning, you know, of, you know, the news media. The news media was chosen because they're not going to ask controversial questions. she's like on the outskirts. She had to pay a ton of money to stay in this hotel where they're all meeting. But she got to ask her question, and good job. Good job. I forgot what her name is. Tamara Ugolini at Rebel News. So thank you, dear, for that. Here we got Sri Lankans required a digital ID fuel pass to get gasoline. And they have a ration of fuel that they get for the week. But they have to use this digital ID. Understand why they're doing this. Maybe they're just showing it to someone that was, you know, doing an interview how it's done or something. Was this? Okay, this was more of the kamikaze drones that Russia got from Iran. I think it was 36 that were launched, or drones that were sent, and bombs that they used. Some had grenades, and they got 5 out of the 36, I think it was. So the rest of them hit stuff. Ooh. Kind of looks like a plane to me, but they are kind of like planes, aren't they? They're huge. That right there is so scary. They're going to have these things all over the skies, you know? What is that silo, I wonder? I wonder what that silo is. As Iranian Foreign Ministry denies UAV sales. Denies, huh? The Iranian IRGC channels are using the footage of today's attack on Kyiv as a promotion to sell Iranian drones to other countries. So they got a ton of stuff, but I saw another thing too on that, like surface missile. I can't remember. I have to get to it. The Chinese authorities ordered large state-owned companies to stop the resale of liquefied natural gas to Europe. They're keeping it for themselves for winter. China's keeping their natural gas. They're not going to give any to Europe. Europe's in trouble, guys. I'm worried. All right, let's have a little light thing. This is pretty funny. We got 2 of them. Oh, I don't know if I can play this. It's got music. Go ahead.
Turn around. Every now and then I get a little bit lonely when you're never coming round. Turn around. Every now and then I get a little bit tired. Listen to the sound of my tears. Turn around. Every now and then I get a little bit nervous that the best of all the years have come by. Turn around. Every now and then I get a little bit terrified, and then I see the look in your eyes. Turn around, bite eyes. Every now and then I fall apart. And I need you now tonight. And I need you more than ever. And if you only hold me tight, we'll be holding on forever. And we'll only be making it right. 'Cause we'll never be wrong. Together we can take it till the end of the line. Your love is like a shadow on me all of the time. All of the time.
Funny. It's good, isn't it? Okay, we got one more here.
I don't like being alone in the house with a married man. Listen, if we were alone on a raft in the middle of the ocean, I'd rather kiss an octopus in the mouth.
Alright, back to some serious news here. Alright, these guys shot at each other in traffic, and they injured each other's daughters. What is the chances, right? 2 men are facing attempted murder charges after an apparent road rage incident ended with a shootout. The Nassau County Sheriff's Office in Florida said William Hale, 35, and Frank Allison, 43, have both been charged after the road rage incident on Saturday, October 8th, which lasted for several miles and spanned 2 counties. Authorities began receiving calls that day a little after 6 with reports of people being shot at. One witness told deputies he called 911 after seeing the 2 drivers, one in a black Dodge Ram and the other in a gray Nissan Murano, drive so erratically that he thought something bad was going to happen. He described the driver's behavior as a cat and mouse game. Leeper said Hale, who is from Georgia, was driving the pickup truck, and Allison, who is from Florida, was driving the sedan. Both drivers were speeding, driving erratically, and brake checking each other. That's getting in front of each other and applying the brakes. At one point, the vehicles were alongside each other, and Leeper said someone in the truck rolled down a window and began shouting at the Nissan to pull over. Passenger in the Nissan then flicked off the people in the truck. Then someone in the truck threw a plastic water bottle into an open window of the Nissan. Then someone in the truck threw a plastic water bottle into an open window of the Nissan. That's when, according to the Leeper, Allison grabbed his gun and fired one shot at the truck before speeding off. Leeper said Allison told the police the reason he fired his gun was to get out of the whole situation. The bullet from Allison's gun hit a 5-year-old girl in the leg, and when Hale realized his daughter had been shot, he began speeding again to catch back up with the Nissan. Hale also pulled out a gun and fired 7 or 8 rounds in the direction of the Nissan. Leeper said 3 of the bullets hit the car, with one hitting a 14-year-old girl in the back seat. The bullet hit her in the back, causing a collapsed lung. Leeper said the incident eventually came to an end when the 2 drivers came across a patrol car and pulled over. The men got out and started arguing with each other, and the deputy broke up the fight. The 2 girls were taken to the hospital, and both injuries were not life-threatening, Leeper said. Allison and Hale were both arrested and charged with attempted murder. Leeper said they've both been released on bail. What is scarier than one crazy driver with a gun? 2 crazy drivers with a gun, he said as he turned over the drivers' respective booking photos. Thankfully, no one was killed in this incident, but It could have very easily turned out that way because two people were acting stupid and let their tempers get the best of them. It could have been two dead kids because of two stupid grown men. So that's crazy. All right, here's Paris over the soaring prices. It's a lot of people. Here is Macron. So this is France. It's really low. Sorry, I can't turn it up anymore. This is recent. Yesterday. Russia also ordered 3,000 more kamikaze drones from Iran. This came out 6 hours ago. Okay. Now, this right here, you know, the WHO just did their thing. This, I went to their website and I was looking at what he was doing. This was another story that just came out the 16th, so yesterday. You know who this is, right? Henrietta Lacks's family. They just got appointed the Goodwill ambassadors for cervical cancer elimination. They want to eliminate cervical cancer. This woman, Henrietta Lacks, is one of injustice. So the family never got paid or anything like that. She died in 1951. So her kids just, you know, found out recently that her mom's cells, they're known as HELA, HELA. Henrietta Lacks. So they got HE from Henrietta, LA from Lacks, but you know, it's a hell of a thing. The cells they took, known as HELA cells, subsequently became the first immortal cell line, meaning they are the only cells which have continued to live outside the human body and replicate. Since the procedure was undertaken, they've been contributing countless medical breakthroughs, including development of the HPV, human papillomavirus vaccine, as well as the, look at it right here. Look at that. Do I have to like, look right here. Look at that. Okay. So they've been using these cells and this. Okay. You getting the picture? All right. Much like the injustice of Henrietta Lack's story, women all over the world from racial and minority ethnic groups face disproportionately higher risk from cervical cancer, said Tedros. WHO's goal is to eliminate cervical cancer, which means the innovations created with Henrietta Lack cells must be made available equitably to all women and girls. We look forward to working with Lack's family to raise awareness on cervical cancer and advance racial equity in health and science. The family, represented by Henrietta Lack's son, Lawrence Lack Sr., and his granddaughters, Victoria Baptiste and Veronica Robinson, and Alfred Lax Carter Jr., Henrietta Lack's grandson, accepted the appointment at the World Health Summit in Berlin. That's going on right now. During a session titled A Next Era for Women's Cancer Control. On behalf of Lack's family Alfred Lax Carter Jr. said, "Today I humbly accept this honor to serve as a WHO Goodwill Ambassador for cervical cancer elimination in the spirit of my mother, Deborah Lax, who lost her mother, Henrietta, to cervical cancer and worked to make certain the world recognizes her impact. Our Henna's legacy lives on in us, and we will continue to stand in solidarity with WHO, patients, survivors, and family around the world to ensure that no other wife, mother, or sister dies needlessly from cervical cancer." The appointment of the Lax family as WHO Goodwill Ambassadors for cervical cancer elimination adds momentum to the global strategy to eliminate cervical cancer launched by WHO in 2020. The global effort represents the first time ever the WHO member states have collectively committed to eliminate a cancer. The strategy lists 3 goals that countries should reach by 2030. First, now listen to this, 90% of eligible girls should be fully vaccinated with the HPV vaccine. Now remember, they're meeting right now. They're at the summit. See right over here, the event? They're meeting at this summit the 16th through the 18th. Tomorrow's the last day. To add this in with their strategy. Add this in where these 194 countries sign up that they're going to give not only the you know what up there, but also the HPV vaccine. And second, 70% of women should be screened using a high performance test. And third, 90% of women with pre-cancer should have access to treatment, and 90% of women with invasive cancer should be managed appropriately, including access to palliative care. So they're going to make sure that 90% of eligible girls, all women, are going to get this new HPV vaccine that has more of this HeLa gene. Currently, a woman dies of cervical cancer every 2 minutes. Nearly 90% of these deaths occur in low and middle income countries due to inadequate access to cancer prevention, diagnosis, and care. And all geographic women in marginalized communities are disproportionately affected. The Lax family joins with other ambassadors from WHO, including Ivorian footballer, this guy, Brazilian champion, a bunch of other people, president of the Born This Way Foundation, Prime Minister, former Prime Minister of UK, Gordon Brown. Okay, the ambassadorship follows the bestowment of a special posthumous award to Henrietta Lax. I don't know what posthumous means. Given to her family on her behalf in 2021, it reflects the ongoing commitment to the active precipitation of people affected by cervical cancer. And you can see in their WHO summit agenda, it's got more about this. It's on the list of things they're going to be talking about is the cervical, or well, cancers in general. All right, now listen to this about Henrietta Lax. As a young mother, Henrietta Lax and her husband were raising 5 children near Baltimore when she fell ill. She went to Johns Hopkins after experiencing extensive vaginal bleeding and was diagnosed with cervical cancer. Despite treatment, it cut her life short. On October 4th, 1951, she was only 31 years old. During treatment, researchers took samples of her tumor. That HeLa cell line became a scientific breakthrough the first immortal line of human cells to divide indefinitely in a laboratory. The cells, look right here. This is the main thing right here. The cells were mass produced for profit without recognition from her family. Her family didn't know about it. Over 50 million metric tons of HeLa cells have been distributed around the world. You got that? That's okay. Listen to all these things. In addition to the HPV vaccine, HeLa cells allowed for development of polio. And guess what's raging now up in New York and up in the upper corner of United States? Polio. Drugs for HIV, which may include some of the, well, we know it includes some of that up there, but okay, hemophilia. I think that's where you lose blood a lot. Leukemia, Parkinson's, breakthroughs in reproductive health, including in vitro fertilization. So we got new babies being brought into the world with the HeLa gene. If they need to be, woman can't get pregnant, so they inject that. Now she can get pregnant. Research on chromosomal conditions, chromosomes, cancer, gene mapping, and precision medicine, and are used in studies responding to the, what. All right. They share the honor. They get a big congratulatory, thank you for we're going to, make it for many people, Let's eliminate cancer in your mother's name. This is freaky, man. All right. And then right here, I need to put a little note in the bottom about this. So this is the list of things on the CDC website. And right here of this bit, this was for 2021. Actually, the person that I heard from this was Monograph, and he was saying like some things which I'm not going to say because of what, but there's, oh, where did it go? Hold on. Well, you can see right here. This is on their website, cdc.gov. Zombie preparedness. And so that HeLa gene has been called the zombie cells or whatever. So the CDC is well aware of these immortal cell lines, and they've had this on their blog since 2011. That's 11 years now. This has been on their website. And there's probably way more about it on their website, but that's just quickly what I could find. And then this guy has just now said some things that I want you to hear.
The theme of this year's World Health Summit is taking global health to a new level. It sounds great, but what does it mean? Let me suggest three things. First, taking global health to a new level means we need a new global agreement or global accord based on a shared vision. At exactly the moment when the world needed to come together.
Remember the Abrahamic, what did they call it? The Abrahamic Accord. They're calling this a global, let's see what he says again.
accord based on a new global agreement or global accord.
A new global agreement. I think he said argument. Agreement. A new global accord.
Based on a shared vision. At exactly the moment when the world needed to come together to face this common threat as one, the COVID-19 pandemic has been characterized by a lack of cooperation and coordination. When we can only face shared threats with a shared response, based on a shared commitment to solidarity and equity. That's what the pandemic accord or pandemic agreement that countries are now negotiating is all about. An agreement between the nations of the world to work together, not in competition with each other, to prepare for and respond to epidemics and pandemics. In 1968, at the height of the Cold War, countries across ideological divide came together to sign the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty. Today, it remains as relevant as ever. In the same way, the global accord now being negotiated will underpin the global approach to epidemics and pandemics for decades and maybe even centuries to come. And that's why we call it generational agreement. I need to be very clear. This
generational agreement. So they're calling it an accord. They called it a constitution not long ago.
Accord or agreement is being negotiated by countries, for countries, and will be adopted by and implemented by countries in accordance with their own national laws.
In accordance with their own national laws. I don't know what that means, but we are all going to be on the same page. What do you guys think of that? I need to know if you guys are on this, do you think the same thing I'm thinking? Are you thinking that, they're saying it's as important as a nuclear proliferation agreement. So, this is major, dude. Major, major. Alright. This is more in France. They're doing this over lack of food, and they see what's coming. What makes us think this isn't gonna just go crazy? That's the press that they're spraying with pepper spray and stuff. Alright, check this out. This is so freaking cool. I wish I'd have known about this in high school. Isn't that awesome? I didn't know you could do that. So there's a new way of doing that. Destroying a Russian drone with 6 grenades on it. That was cute. I hadn't watched that whole thing. Alright, here's the 29. It just says so far 29 suicide drones. Okay, now this is kind of freaky. Pfizer BioNTech. This is the picture I chose for my screen. Induces phosphatidylserine autoantibodies, cryoglobulinemia, and digital necrosis in a patient with pre-existing autoimmunity. Fingertip necrosis that began 3 days after receiving number 1. Look at that. Ugh. So an autoimmune disease is something, and just don't quote me, okay? So I'm just guessing here. An autoimmune disease is like fibromyalgia, lupus, Parkinson's, and I'm not sure what else. But there's a whole bunch of autoimmune disease. Maybe eczema, maybe psoriasis. Oh wait, I said that wrong. Psoriasis. I've been used to calling it like I called it the first time. Sorry about that. Okay, Avi Barak's interview with viral immunologist Dr. Jessica Rose. This hour-and-a-half interview covers everything from this to, you know, the hokey pokey to the, wait a minute, this isn't something I put. This was just reflections of this, comments from this. Okay, because I was like, wait a minute, that looks familiar. This was the card that I printed off a whole bunch of these showing how they said this is the possible adverse event outcomes, and it's subject to change. And then there was a whole list on YouTube that went for the same size print across this whole screen that went for 2 minutes and 19 seconds of way more than just these. So the actual okay, I can't look at it anymore. I'm sorry. I'm only supposed to skim, okay? This guy, he's okay and everything, but he's like putting gasoline on people, and he's smoking a cigarette. The guy gets him down, punches him. They're like, get off of him. They're, but wait a minute, he's got a cigarette. Oh no. Oh, too late. But he gets up and he's not hurt. I mean, he's probably hurt a little bit, but he's not like dead or anything. He can go running off on fire or anything. Now this one, alright, I'm not sure. I can't remember what she was saying, but this is important.
Seeding the clouds for rain. Of April this year, there are more than 150 different weather modification programs around the world. Since about 2000, the Department of Defense and the Department of Energy have been spraying the entire United States sky with a toxic brew of chemicals and other biologic agents. Military and some commercial jets have been fitted with huge barrels of at least 49 different kinds of documented chemical poisons. Among other documented ingredients in this toxic man-made clouds are pathogenic molds, fungi, weaponized viruses, made in some places like the secret site at Fort Detrick, Maryland, which is supposed to be a cancer site. But there are a number of scholars and professors tracking this that have big questions about this. Barium and nanoalumin particles. What do these do to the human body? Barium is an alkaline earth mineral. It was discovered in 1774. At low doses, it can act as a muscle stimulant. At high doses, it detrimentally affects the heart and the nervous system. Barium is toxic to all mammals, and that means not just humans. Aluminum, which is the most abundant metal in the Earth's crust, is known to diminish kidney function and destroy brain cells and cognitive function. Just think about it. Just between the aluminum and the mercury that we're breathing all the time, we've got already a serious issue about brain function and cognitive function.
So there you have it. All right, we just saw this one. Okay, here's something you guys might want to pay attention to.
Don't buy another bottle of bug spray before watching this.
Whether it's roaches, ants, fleas, bed bugs, or any other filthy insects with
These bugs, okay, we got bugs that children are eating. I'm going to show you a clip of that. You might want to look away. We got pills that look like candy to give to the children.
Got a Halloween alert for all you parents out there. Rainbow fentanyl, the stuff that's coursing across the border because of Joe Biden's failed policies, it looks nearly identical to Smarties. You know, the little candy? Well, that candy could end up in your child's bag this year. So the warning for all parents this Halloween, the new drug on the street, it looks like Smarties. It's extremely dangerous, called rainbow fentanyl. So you need to be very careful about what your children are eating this year. Make sure they know not to eat any candy that doesn't come from you or a trusted friend or a family member. Stay tuned for the details. Now, every day we work to right the ship of state with real reporting. Join us, tap subscribe below, and enable your notifications, and together yields costume. But be sure to keep an eye out for rainbow fentanyl, which looks almost like Smarties candy. Now, on the left side of the screen, that's Smarties. On the right, rainbow fentanyl. Unbelievable. This deadly drug can kill your child in just one bite. So please be vigilant and keep them safe. Now, Fox reports that the Senate GOP Doctors Caucus unveiled a public service announcement on Thursday, warning the American public about the dangers of fentanyl. The group, composed of 5 senators who are medical professionals, were compelled to produce the PSA because few Americans know about the severity of the scourge of this synthetic drug, which is more than 80% stronger than morphine. Watch.
Hi, I'm Dr. Roger Marshall.
I'm Dr. John Barrasso.
I'm Senator and Dr. Bill Cassidy.
I'm Dr. John Bozeman.
This is Rand Paul. I come to you today not only as a United States Senator, but as a physician concerned for the health and safety of our nation.
Fentanyl is killing over 200 Americans each and every day. Unfortunately, many Americans who've died from an overdose didn't even know that they were taking the deadliest drug our nation has ever seen.
They didn't know that the counterfeit pills of prescription drugs like Percocet, oxycodone, Xanax, or Adderall are being laced with fentanyl.
And illicit drugs like marijuana, heroin, and meth are being laced with fentanyl also.
Most of these people who bought these illegal drugs didn't know that drug traffickers are selling counterfeit pills that are nearly identical to legitimate prescription medicine. And they didn't know that just one pill can kill.
And they didn't know that a lethal dose of illicit fentanyl is equivalent to a few grains of salt, which can fit on the tip of a pencil.
As doctors in the Senate, we know that fentanyl is harming our communities, tearing apart families.
This epidemic is exploding. It's killing our fellow Americans at record rates.
Never take any drug except those personally prescribed by your physician and filled by your pharmacist. Parents, teachers, please talk to your children before it's too late.
Be honest and direct. Don't assume anything. By working together,
By working together, we can make a difference and stop the drug traffickers that are driving addiction and poisoning our neighbors and children.
Ronna McDaniel released a clip speaking about a late-night TV host attacking her for wanting to take this deadly drug off the streets. Watch.
I just got mocked by Jimmy Kimmel, a late-night host, for raising this alarm that came from the Biden administration. I think everybody needs to put their partisanship down and put our kids first. And that goes Democrat, Republican, and the media. When you have rainbow-colored fentanyl, we're 2 milligrams. Just to give you perspective, a dime is 2,700 milligrams. 2 milligrams kills somebody. This is intended to hit our kids. We have so many people dying from this. It's the leading cause of death for 18 to 45-year-olds. We had just 2,000 pounds brought in last month. This is a 5-alarm crisis, and the Biden administration needs to step up, close our border, and actually take.
Thank you, Next News Network, for that report. And thank you to Segway for that report to let me know about that. Here we got a tank hit by Ukrainian fire, losing a track, and the crew is killed and wounded, but the engine was still running, and they're just creating what looks to be like a crop circle. Not really. That's what I thought of anyway. Crop circle. Oh, here's a lovely little gathering. It says impressive human tide in Brussels against Ursula von der Leyen, EU globalist scum, corporate politicians, media manipulation, and rising energy prices. Europeans don't want to starve and freeze for Zelensky.
Day of justice! 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 Day of justice!
Doing the same thing over and over, so I'm not going to play the whole thing. But that, let me show you. If I can find it real quick. I don't want to spend too much time on it, but let's see if we can find her. Right here. Okay. We got these lost their leadership position so far. Here's Ursula. This is the next one to go, sounds like. Maybe this one. I don't know who that guy is, but we'd like to know. And this is Canadian Justin Trudeau. So we might get to make our own ex, you guys, if she ends up out of power. Ursula. All right. Ursula von der Leyen. She lying. Okay. This is downtown LA. I'm not going to play a lot of it. It goes on for 4.5 minutes.
Dehumanize people and destroy people. So, the question needs to be asked, who's to blame for all this? Who caused this? Well, Los Angeles has been a single-party run state for the last 70 years. Democrat policies that masquerade as human rights policies are actually cruel. They trod and destroy and erode the economic stability of a place and bring it to its natural conclusion, which is a
They're just bringing everything to their knees. Okay, we're becoming a third world country. They're just bringing them in from everywhere. Okay, you guys do know that diamonds are like everywhere, and that they came up with the diamonds are forever as a propaganda to get everyone to buy diamonds. They are pretty, but they're not that uncommon. this lady is...
Oh! Oh, God!
Isn't that terrible? I felt so bad for that giraffe. It might got glass in its eye. Alright, South Korea expects North Korea to conduct a nuclear test at any time. This was yesterday. So, North Korea is going to be probably doing another nuke test. This is more of Paris. I don't know why they don't just let them march. I mean, that's what you do, right? When you're in a peaceful protest, you just march. But yeah, starvation and freezing cold temperatures are coming, Europe. Get ready. Get your blankets, get your candles, because you're probably not going to be able to afford to have your lights on. You've already thought of all this. Wool is very good. I wish I could send you some hats, but it's very expensive to send things overseas. But you learn how to crochet and make a bunch of hats over there and hand them out to people, because they're gonna heat, it holds it in if you put that on your head. I don't know what to tell you. It's gonna get bad. It's gonna get bad everywhere, but Europe's probably gonna be first. Could be us though. I need to make some hats. A new subvariant of the novel coronavirus called XBB dramatically announced itself earlier this week in Singapore. New hokey pokey cases more than doubled in a day, from 4,700 on Monday to 11,700 on Tuesday. And XBB is almost certainly why. The same subvariant just appeared in Hong Kong too. So this is starting in China. A highly mutated descendant of the Omicron variant of the SARS-CoV-2 virus that drove a record wave of infections starting around a year ago. Here it is, guys. XBB is in many ways the worst form of the virus so far. It's more contagious than any previous variant or subvariant. It also evades the antibodies from monoclonal therapies, potentially rendering a whole category of drugs ineffective as treatments. It's likely the most immune evasive and poses problems for current monoclonal antibody-based treatments and prevention strategy, John Hopkins told Daily Beast. That's the bad news. The good news is that the new bivalent vaccine boosters from Pfizer and Moderna seem to work just fine against XBB, even though the original thing are less effective against XBB. They won't prevent all infections and reinfections, but they should significantly blah blah blah. They're going to tell you to take it, okay? They're going to tell you that. But the mutations, I read somewhere else, or maybe it was at the end of this, how dangerous they're saying it is, that the rate of death is 80%. Let me see if I have it over here before I say that. There was another thing about it. Hold on. I read somewhere it was like the death rate was like 80. I was like, oh no. But it was more recent, like, because I thought I put that other story first. Maybe I did. Oh, here it is, right here. U.S. researchers at Boston University have developed a new lethal COVID mutant strain. Oh, this is something else. This is something else, guys. Echoing the type of experiments many fear started the pandemic. Boston University creates a new COVID strain that has an 80% kill rate, echoing dangerous experiments feared to have started the pandemic. Researchers added Omicron spike protein to the original Wuhan COVID strain. Omicron spike is highly mutated, which made it the most infectious variant ever. 8 in 10 mice infected with the lab-created strain died at Boston University lab. So, I don't know. They're saying the other one was about Omicron also. I'm not sure if it's the same thing or not. Scientists removed the spike from Omicron. They attached it to the original Wuhan strain. And now this has affected 80% of the rodents. So here it is. I hope they don't leave it on the table like they did the smallpox. You know, is this thing underground? Is this research center under the ground in a level 4 facility? Probably not.
You know, fancy wine experts would describe this wine as having good acidity with notes of passion.
We need some music or something.
Once you're in the BSL-4 space, the only way you can get out is to go through a chemical shock.
It's an unusual room. Never seen anything like this. Anybody who has access to this facility first has to go through an R scan. So the HEPA filters filter the air coming out of the facility, and that will remove bacteria, viruses, anything that might constitute any kind of risk, right?
Okay, but HEPA filters, from what I understand, are only so effective. Like 99.9 maybe at the most. What about that little point, 0.1%? I'm just saying, I don't trust these people. Look at these pictures. I mean, how contagious is it? Or, I mean, what if they get a little bit that you missed it on the plastic coming out of there? It's not like we have like super safe ways of doing this stuff. Why do it at all? I don't understand. Well, I mean, I have my theories. Okay, where are we at here? Are you enjoying the show? Are you enjoying it so far? I mean, it's a new day. There's new atrocities. It's good to be aware, and it's good to pray for your family. But don't let these devils give you any sort of fear, because Jesus is near. And whether we live or die, we are in Christ. So we only have forever to look forward to. This little 80 years or whatever is just a blink of an eye. So be of good cheer, because Jesus has already overcome the world. We are victorious because of him. And there's nothing in Halloween or witches. They have rituals that they're getting ready to do and all this crap. And you're in Christ, you're fine. He's going to protect you. What can men do? Nothing. You know, when you got God on your side, there's nothing that can keep you from the love of God. All right, Europe is planning to launch a quantum encryption satellite for ultra secure communications in 2024. So I'm not sure what a quantum encrypted communication satellite is, but it sounds like secure. Of course, we know how hackers can do just about anything. It's going to be called Eagle 1. It'll be the first space-based quantum key distribution QKD system for the European Union, and could lead to an ultra-secure communication network for Europe, according to the statement from the European Space Agency. They will spend 3 years in orbit testing the technologies needed for a new generation of secure communications. The satellite will demonstrate the feasibility of quantum key distribution technology. Ooh, it's a key. Quantum key. And the angel was given the key to the bottomless pit. Not that that has anything to do with this, but which uses the principles of quantum mechanics to distribute encryption keys in such a way that any attempt to eavesdrop is immediately detected within the EU using a satellite-based system, according to ESA. Okay, it's a low Earth orbit. That's where they put that. I think that's inside the firmament. You can read more about that. I'm sure you'll hear more about that coming out. Probably. I didn't see it on too many news sites. Just happened across it. Hey, Watchman. Yes. Well, God bless you, Watchman. Thanks for listening. We got Israel. The Levites are being summoned to the Temple Mount. So there was a couple of things after Sukkot. I forget the name of them. I looked at them and everything, and basically what I got out of it is that they read the whole Torah, which is the first 5 books of the Bible, and it's like a really high fun celebration day. And so they're gathering all the priests, which I know that they've already begun making the priests' headquarters near the Wailing Wall. That's this wall right here. But they're going to get together at the steps. I don't know if it'll be the top where the Temple Mount is, or at the bottom where the Wailing Wall is down. You know, there's like a ramp and a steps, and it goes up to the Temple Mount up here, right above them. So they'll either sing down here or they'll sing up here. The closer they get to that Temple Mount, the more likely they are to be able to, it just says the southern steps of the Temple Mount, to offer songs and prayers to the Almighty, just as their priestly forefathers did. So it's an assembly. I'm just ready for the great assembly when we all get together and we can take our little temple, which is us. We are the temple of the Holy Ghost. And we all are then reunited together on the streets of gold. And I like to say on RU Sirius Boulevard, because that's just, I've been chatting in the, Paul Begley's chat room for years, and just seen so many people get saved. And when I get to heaven, it'll just be even more glorious. Like, I think we'll even know the things that we participated here on earth. Like when you saw someone get saved, you might have some sort of memory of whatever was in God's will. And people getting saved is in God's will. So I think we get to keep at least those memories. Everything done in God's will, I would like to keep as memories. Because it says faith, hope, and love. So anything done with the faith of God, the hope of God, the love of God, those things remain. So keep doing those things, because those things for sure remain. Okay, these are just some foods to try to put back into your thought process. I heard that apple butter is being made right now. Now, I don't have any apples on my tree. I do need to cut the branches and make sure I'm doing it at the right time, but I'd like to make apple butter with my apples next year if I have some. This year they got frost and they died, but I have heard of things to do to keep that from happening, like put a sheet over it or put some water around the trunk if it's going to frost, like to trick it, to make it go back, like it's not spring yet. So I'm going to try those things. Hopefully I'll have apples and peaches. Garlic goes on anything. I put garlic in the chili last night. Fresh garlic. It was organic garlic. I thought about planting it. I think it's almost time to plant garlic right now. Beetroot is a superfood. Spinach. I just made spinach artichoke dip for the game. That was so super good. Turmeric is an anti-inflammatory. Green tea has something in it for the hokey pokey. Of course, any sort of citrus. And I want to know if that lemon juice that you get in a bottle is good enough, because I hate like squeezing lemons just to get some lemon juice. If I could just squeeze some out of the bottle and it be, vitamin C good for the kidneys and all that, I would start drinking that, but I'm not sure yet. I have to look into that. Lentils, I'm not really big on lentils. Broccoli, chicken broccoli casserole. I made one of those about a week or two ago. And olive oil. Olive oil's good. I like Brussels sprouts too. Mike makes a good dinner, don't you, midday? Hi, Melanie. How are you? Good to see you, Melanie. Okay, so you just keep eating good, you guys. It's important. And resist the hokey pokey. Look at all these Iran missiles. This is the one I was telling you about. Iran agrees to send, here's what it's called, surface-to-surface missiles to Russia for its war in Ukraine. Let's see what kind of damage that it does. Okay, here's one. Here's an Iranian one.
Iran has fired.
You might want to hold your ears maybe, or turn it down. I'll try to adjust it for you.
16 surface-to-surface ballistic missiles as a warning to Israel at the end of a 5-day military drill. Iranian authorities say the missile launching was in response to threats from its arch-rival. According to Iran's state media, the rockets successfully hit several targets.
I was wanting to see the damage. All right. Let's see if we can. Yeah, I don't really want.
Start 3, come on. Start 3, check, right, break right.
Anyway, it's escalating, guys. Here's one, maybe.
The crew realizes they've been hit by a missile somewhere on the left wing. They're to crank open the latch, descend.
This is a reenactment. Well, yeah, I'm not watching a fake reenactment. All right, whatever. It goes bad. Okay, this is cute. It's a family, you know. It's a family. Isn't that funny? At home spa day. Okay, cool. Oh gosh. Okay, here we go. You're gonna love this, guys. All right, so we're in the mode of the edges of not saying anything. This is, you know.
The question of the day.
This is an internet lunatic. You're not saying you believe him.
Hold on, Agent Einstein. You're talking to a scientist.
Forgive me, Assistant Director. It may sound insensitive, but the suggestion is pure science fiction.
What I'm saying, Agent Einstein, is that the facts, as I understand them, cannot be discounted out of hand.
No one has the right or the ability to tamper with your DNA.
Unless we gave them that ability.
You say they're tampering with our DNA, that they're able to shut down our immune systems by the addition of something to our DNA.
Yes, but I don't know how exactly.
Or how it's being triggered.
Okay, I'm gonna skip a little bit.
Which abridge the Constitution in the name of national security. The militarization of police forces in cities across the U.S., the building of prison camps by the Federal Emergency Management Agency with no stated purpose, the corporate takeover of food and agriculture, pharmaceuticals and healthcare, even the military in clandestine agendas to fatten, dull, sicken, and control a populace already consumed by consumerism.
And I encourage you all to go shopping more.
A government that taps your phone, collects your data, and monitors your whereabouts with impunity. A government preparing to use that data against you when it strikes. And the final takeover begins.
The takeover of America.
By a well-oiled and well-armed multinational group of elites that will cull, kill, and subjugate.
Happening as we sit here.
It's happening all around us.
The other shoe waiting to drop.
It'll probably start on a Friday. The banks will announce a security action necessitating their computers to go offline all weekend.
Digital money will disappear.
They can just steal your money?
Followed by the detonation of strategic electromagnetic pulse bombs to knock out major grids.
What will seem like an attack on America by terrorists or Russia.
An invasion of the U.S.
The Russians tried it in '47.
I'm gonna post that whole clip into my Discord so you guys can watch it. Because it's all really good stuff. Like, I was like, man, if I could just use that whole skit and just read it and then be like, this was from X-Files. I wish I knew what year it was for. Okay. Find. I'm in. Whoa. Whoa. This looks really strange. Okay, let's put it under info resources. I should put that other one in here too. So there's the X-Files. Okay. 6 Russian MiG-31s with Dagger hypersonic missiles spotted in the Belarusian sky. So you got a bunch of tanks going in Belarus. this guy. Okay, this guy gets a gun, and this guy over here is filming it, and he takes the guy's car. It's in Chicago. I guess you can probably want to see it.
He's hijacking the car. He's hijacking the car right now. Hey, drive off, man! Hey, drive off! Oh my God.
I think he caused the guy to like give up because he thought this is a, you know, a gang, 2-person thing. He probably thought he was with him or something. Gives over his car. Okay, so you guys do know that this is saying 10 companies control nearly everything that we eat and drink, and it's provable, and these are the 10 companies right here. But there's also it's said that BlackRock and Vanguard own everything. So that's in that little skit from X-Files too, that, you know, that they'll own everything. They do. They own it all. We're at the breaking point here. She talks about, like, she should go to jail for talking about President Trump like this.
I'm going to punch him out and I'm going to go to jail and I'm going to be happy. I'm going to punch him out and I'm going to go to jail and I'm going to be happy. I'm going to punch.
That's just insane, isn't it? And we got Joe Biden sniffing people again. You would think he would stop doing this. He's on camera. He's a president now.
Kevin, go down. What's your phone? Kevin?
That was a sniff. It's like a vampire or a werewolf. Like, let me smell your mother. See if I want you for lunch. Okay, here's these people in Fortnum and Mason, some highfalutin place. And of course, they probably needed carpet, and they probably just paid these people to do that. That's my opinion. I'm a conspiracy theorist. I just think people are doing criminal things, and they pay people to do criminal things, and it's really dumb anyway. They did $100,000 worth of damage, so how much is carpet, right? I mean, it's the, you know, anyway. There's more of that stuff going on, but the reason they're doing it is because it's animal rebelliousness, because they would rather us eat plants or bugs. Okay, so they're coming against the cows, and they're all for the cows. They're probably getting paid, you know, to do that.
Announcing 3 new steps today. First, we're announcing the UK's intention to mandate climate disclosures by large companies and financial services firms across the economy by 2025, going further than recommended by the Task Force on Climate-Related Financial Disclosures, the first G20 country to do so. Second, we're implementing a new green taxonomy, robustly classifying what we mean by green to help firms and investors better understand the impact of their investments on the environment. And third, to meet growing investor demand for projects that can achieve environmental and climate goals in the UK, next year we will issue our first ever sovereign green bond, the first in a green curve of new issuances.
I have no
Announcing
idea what he's talking about, except they just want everything green or smart, which is not going to help the environment unless you consider people not having what you normally have and just like you go without. But I can tell you the globalists will not go without. They'll make up for whatever we sacrifice. They'll take it. So it's not going to even out or anything either. Crime Against Humanity, The Great Reset of 1914. So here is some history of when this happened before. And I did not read this yet, but I thought it was interesting. Bogle's Green Fields of France, originally called No Man's Land. Have any of you guys read this? Looks kind of boring, but history repeats itself. Probably goes back to Quigley. Okay. Quigley explains Rhodes feverishly exploited the diamond and gold fields of South Africa. Where history's going to repeat itself. They're going to take everything, including your energy. Orange paint on Austin Martin, another activist, eco-activist, and they probably won't have to do anything about it. So we got a horror film for Halloween, a couple horror films here you've probably already seen.
It's easier to groom a child because an adult always has a position of power over a child. I am Anthony Zankis. I am an expert in the fields of sexual violence, family violence, and trauma. It's really hard to just look at somebody and say, that person's a predator. What you have to do is look at the behaviors and listen to the things that they say.
We met before. It's hard to forget those eyes. Look at those eyes. Look at them.
Can I go with just alone? Very clear warning signs are adults who ignore children's boundaries when it comes to touching, kissing, holding, or tickling. They will engage in those behaviors with the child and continue them despite the fact that a child squirms away or pulls away or voices any sort of discomfort verbally or non-verbally. Most adults take those cues and realize, oh, they don't want to be hugged or tickled right now, and that's fine. Sex offenders and predators just plow right through it. Another is sexualizing a child by talking about dating or their bodies in a way that would not be appropriate for their age.
How old are you, 17? Oh, 6. You're turning 11. You're beautiful. Just remember, no dates to your 30s. No dates to your 30 years old.
In my field, we often say that child sex predators don't just groom children, they groom families and communities. Seeing these behaviors in an adult doesn't mean that adult is a predator or would ever harm a child. But what it does do is it sets that child up to grow up in a world where they view these violations of personal space as normal, and that's unacceptable. Everyone, regardless of their gender expression or age, deserves to walk through this world with their physical boundaries intact and not living in fear that they'll be violated. Offenders have depended on not only the silence of their victims, but our silence. If we allow children the permission to say no or speak up for them when they can't, we're going to go a long way in preventing so much harm.
That is so hard to watch. I'm so sorry. I have another minute and 30 seconds, and I just want to put it out there because the children deserve it. To be warned. Spoken up for. Horror film. Boiling. It's just like that lady's face there is priceless. That is the sickest president we've had yet, in my opinion. This is pretty cool. I need a break off of that. Like, this was a hard day. I had so many things that were just clownish. Clown world. Halloween. Alright, but this is beautiful.
Just pure light. He did not pressurize the air. He did not give it increased CO2, just simply filtered sunlight. His tomato plant grew 16 feet tall and produced 900 tomatoes on one plant. It kept growing and growing. They moved it to a shopping center, built scaffolding to hold up the branches. They said this thing might produce 10,000 tomatoes. Well, the last I heard, it actually produced 15,000 tomatoes.
Isn't that amazing?
And grew 40 feet tall, a tomato tree. Now his tomatoes, they were cherry tomatoes, but they came off baseball size. That was just filtered sunlight. Had he increased air pressure and more CO2, no telling what it would do. They've discovered under the leaf, every leaf of a plant, well, this is a fake one, but under the leaves, you'll see, if you get a magnifying glass, little tiny holes called stomata. You kids will study that in biology class. The stomata close up at night, open in the daylight to let the air circulate in and out of the plant. That's how the plants breathe, through the stomata under the leaf. They've discovered the chirping sound that birds make at 4 in the morning opens the stomata. You ever wonder, why are the birds out there chirping at 4 in the morning? Go to bed. Oh no, they're doing their job. They open up the stomata under the leaf. One guy got curious about this, so he found out that the chirping of the birds can be mimicked with classical music. This guy in Iowa started playing classical music to his cornfield. His neighbors thought, half a bubble off a plum, maybe, till his corn grew 15 feet tall. They said, what channel was that you're listening to? I think the pre-flood world had greater air pressure, increased CO2, filtered sunlight, the music of
Increased CO2. Isn't that what we breathe out? Hello, Apple. Alright, listen to what Prince says. You might have already heard this before, but some people haven't.
Go to get on the computer, but don't let the computer get on you. It's cool. It's cool to use the computer. Don't let the computer use you. You all saw The Matrix. There's a war going on, the battlefield's in the mind, and the prize is the soul. So, it's cool to get it.
The prize is the soul. Okay? So this is a spiritual battle. Here's something cool with eggs. I won't play the whole thing, but it's really cool. No matter if you're fast, no matter if you're slow, oh, oh. The eye of the storm or the cry in the morning, oh, oh. You're flying for a while, but you start to lose control. He's not in the dark, he's not in my heart. He waits in the wings, he's got a fatal plan. Trouble in the fan, yeah, trouble in the fan, Alright, I won't bore you with a bunch of them, but that was so cool. Alright, Russia-Belgorod is the new front line of the war. Now, this is where the name of that ship with the Poseidon torpedoes, they had named it Belgorod. And that night, when they announced that the Belgorod had gone out and that it could do these tsunamis, the Belgorod, the city of it, was lit up with those weird lights, which end up being, you know, a natural phenomenon, but it's pretty rare. And then now they're just being bombarded bad. So I don't know. I don't know if that natural phenomenon was a, you know, a God thing or not, but
Да ну нахуй.
Alright, the Book of Enoch. There was something on here I wanted to show you.
Script is dated to the 2nd century BC, as mentioned in the Book of Enoch of the fallen angels. The scroll was found deteriorating in great detail. The fallen angels to the mixing of races or species, particularly in the context of sexual intercourse. The next text that follows makes it absolutely clear that this wasn't referring to different species breeding with each other, but actual cross-species genetics involving the seed of the fallen angels themselves. It's important to notice that giants and monsters are referred to in unique, distinct references. We know from Genesis 6:4 that when humans and angels mated together, that the offspring they produced was giant humans, half human, half fallen angel. Fragment 4Q5312. They defiled, they begot giants and monsters. They begot, and behold, all the earth was corrupted. Through this we can come to the conclusion that these fallen angels were breeding with animals, and their offspring would be half animal and half fallen angel and very large in size. This reality would make sense with all the ancient depictions of monsters and creatures. Maybe those creatures weren't figments of their imagination, but actual half-human, half-fallen angel monsters roaming the earth. These beings maybe could have even held the capacity to think and reason just like the giants could. We know that giants had the capability to hold conversations because of the account of Goliath challenging and enticing the armies of Israel in 1 Samuel 17:8-10. A fragment of the Book of Giants also confirms some of these monsters having the ability to reason and communicate, when some of the giants had dreams of their destruction and shared these dreams with the monsters. Fragment 4Q530, column 2. Thereupon two of them had dreams.
okay, I didn't see that part that I wanted you to watch, but anyway, we're gonna keep going on. You guys pretty much know about the Book of Giants, right? And Enoch. I don't know if that's two different ones, if the Book of Giants is a different book. I'm trying to get this live chat to work. There we go. Wait, that's his top chat. Live chat. There we go. Anna. Price is the soul. Okay, there were 4 prisoners killed in Iran prison. They had a fire that started, and then there was like a riot that happened. 61 people were injured.
Iranian officials say the situation is now under control after 4 inmates were killed in a fire in the capital, Tehran. Officials say a demonstration situation is now under control after 4 inmates were killed in a fire in the capital, Tehran. Officials say a demonstration of Evin prison led to the fire that is
That one's not a video. Okay. Dozens of activists are protesting that birds aren't real. I don't know why they're saying that. I looked into it a bit. I couldn't find it. All right. This guy refused to wear a mask and he went to jail. That's ridiculous. In Melbourne, and now I actually texted the person that has this channel, and I'm going to share it in the room. So if anybody wants to, I want to paste. There it goes. If anybody wants to go sub that guy, he does a good job. And I asked him if I could use his footage from his channel, and he wrote me back and said yes. So this is about Melbourne.
And 2 more people were injured in violent flash floods in the town of Qasar Chalala in the province of Tiaret, following overnight torrential rains, according to the Civil Protection. Last week, floods killed 4 people in the east of the country, 3 of them in the province of Ouled Jalal. Broke their banks, flooding the streets of settlements of Trapani and Agrigento provinces with tons of debris and mud. Infrastructure.
That's still Italy.
Several motorists also had to.
Look at this. There's Italy. Bad.
Humanitarian response forum. Weeks of flooding in Cambodia have affected an estimated 120. As many as 33,165 homes have been damaged, along with 29 health centers, 280 schools, 1,600 kilometers of rural road, more than 180,000 of agricultural land, and about 60,000 hectares of rice were destroyed.
That's a lot of food. Earthquakes have been on the rise.
A province erupted at 1951 UTC, or 3:51 local time, with a column of grey ash with thick intensity, reaching about 1,200 meters. In states of Victoria, New South Wales, and the island state of Tasmania, with hundreds of homes swamped, cars swallowed by rising water, and evacuation orders. Thousands of people have been forced to flee their homes after flash flooding hit Australia's second-largest city of Melbourne, amid warnings of worse to come over the weekend. It comes after large parts of Victoria State, where Melbourne is located, were hammered by an intense rainstorm that dumped a month's worth of rain over 2 days. A 71-year-old man was found dead today in floodwaters in the backyard of his home in Rochester, a small town north of Melbourne, while on October 11th, the body of a 46-year-old man was discovered in a submerged vehicle near Bathurst, in New South Wales. Authorities said that in terms of damage to property, roads, and public infrastructure, as well as the sheer volume of water, this flooding is going to set new records. Time, at a depth of 14.5 kilometers, or 9 miles. The USGS is reporting 4.9 magnitude and a depth of 10 kilometers, or 6 miles. The epicenter was located 100 kilometers, or 62 miles from Irkutsk. As a result of an earthquake, 9 facilities were damaged in the Kyakhtinsky, Ivolginsky, and Kubansky districts of the Republic of Buryatia.
That's called The Rage of the Earth. Nice guy. Right here. Is it okay if I use some of your YouTube video? I have a small channel doing news. He says, sure. Thank you so much. If you see anything on my channel, you can feel free to use it. And then he or she says, thank you. Isn't that nice? So if you just reach out, a lot of times the creator of the YouTube channel will just be like, hey, yeah, you can use that. Thank you so much. Italians hit the streets because of a 500% increase in bills. That's Italy. And this mother is unable to feed her children. The state is robbing us in our homes. Clowns, enough. Italians, you have to take us to the street. Come on. That's what she's supposedly saying. Tell me, Apple, what she's saying. Sound like she wants a tomato. That's what it sounded like to me. A little bit at the end there. Alright. I'm not sure what this guy's on about, but he was a defense lawyer for Alex Jones. It says Alex Jones, defense lawyer, loses radio show? Does that mean Alex Jones's radio show? Over limitations. Okay. Norm Pattis said he had hosted a weekday noon to 2 program. Okay, so it's his FM radio show for the past 5 months or so. He took a leave from the program. So it sounds like he lost his radio show. I was going to say, because like Alex Jones is on different radio stations. I wonder if they will have to drop him. I don't know. I hope not, because I was thinking during the apocalypse, as long as I can have my crank radio with some solar on it, that I might be able to tune in to Alex Jones, because he's like saying he's going to stay as long as he can. Yeah. This robot kind of freaks me out, man. Because it looks self-aware. It looks like, oh, look at, like, I was just picturing, like, what if they found a way to trap people's soul or something and upload them into these things, and you're like, I don't know. I'm thinking conspiracy theory here, but I'm really freaked out about it. All right. Tajikistan president demands respect from Vladimir Putin. He's like, I can't remember exactly what he says, but it's kind of, I mean, Tajikistan or whatever, they're probably wanting to hear it or whatever, but they can go look. It's on Peter Leonard's. I'm not going to play it. It's just too much. Neil Armstrong spelled backwards. Well, the A, Neil A, is alien. And then the FBI says, delete that right now. All right, here, happy Halloween. And I'm not saying that as a Christian. I don't celebrate Halloween. I celebrate the harvest. Just that this is the time of the fall feasts. Not that I'm Jewish or anything, but they're God's feasts. And He provided for us, and He gave us a harvest, and we're to be thankful. And pretty soon it's going to be Thanksgiving. So from now until Thanksgiving, I'm just thankful. But I thought this was really cute. Yeah. Okay, and I thought this was really cute too. Animals are funny sometimes.
If you could be bad, you would be. If you could be bad, you would be.
Oh, isn't that funny? Like, cows can prank each other too. Okay, I don't think I'm going to play this one. I'll just read it. Central bank digital currency is the key to global enslavement of us by the architects of global governance. Do not be fooled by the stories of central banks apparently going soft on the idea that global governance commitment to CBDC is rock solid. So I just wanted to tell you about this. The IMF is kissing the feet of what was the digital one? The digital currency. I can't think of the name of it right now, but it's the one that they think that will be there at the end of all of this, and that they'll use it. And it says a lot that the IMF is catering to. It's not Ethereum. I don't know why it's slipping my mind, but I don't say yes or no to tell you guys to do anything with that stuff. I think it starts with a T. Anybody know which one I'm talking about? Where's Moonrock when you need him? Alright, Marina Abramovic poses with Jacob Rothschild in front of Satan, summoning his legions. So this was, a picture for Halloween that made me think of the Munsters. Introducing a digital currency is not a universal solution. It has to come in a package with digital and financial literacy and identity, among other things. So it's the RFID, or it's the whatever the mark of the beast is going to be. Quantum dot tattoo, some sort of way of tracking you, tracing you, bringing people into enslavement. Okay, he's wanting more money. He just keeps wanting more. Nothing's ever going to be enough with that guy. Ukraine is like, they're just like that guy said earlier. They're just using them like they did with Afghanistan to take taxpayer money. And this one's pretty funny too. I'll skip it. I'm not gonna do. This was pretty cool. Hook that to a hair dryer or whatever, suck up or push air or something. Here's the kids eating bugs.
Deze heerlijke plantaardige gerechten heb ik namelijk ook een zakje met meelwormen. Ja? Oké. 3, 2,
starve them to death for 3-4 days.
En hoe smaakt hij?
Wel lekker.
Ja, en waar smaakt hij naar?
Naar nootjes.
En vind je het ook niet een beetje gek om zo'n meelworm te eten?
Ja.
Nootachtig, ja, of het een zachte noot is wat je in je mond hebt. En je voelt heel goed die nootsmaak.
But the WEF, the World Economic Forum agenda in full force. Hundreds of schools in the Netherlands have started a campaign introducing 10 to 12-year-old kids to eat mealworms and insects as sustainable meat substitute. The goal is to bring about behavioral changes through unprejudiced children. I just want to vomit. Listen to what this guy says when he gets vaccinated. Just remember this guy, okay?
Booster shot. Mission accomplished. And it is time to stop coddling them, the ones who won't get the damn shot already. And our first step, you and I, is symbols, the language we use. We call these people vaccine hesitant, vaccine skeptics, anti-vax. We say they're protesting mandates and passports. They're making a personal choice. They're waiting for more information. They're making a medical decision. Afraid. They're protesting mandates and passports. They're afraid.
And he goes
They're making a personal
like that. Okay, this was this is like Halloweenish. These people are like looking back on when Australia had the fire. And they make this koala bear. Isn't that weird? Thought I'd show you that. This guy, oh, XRP? Is that the one? I think it's XRP. Thought it started with a T. It's XRP. That's the one. So
that XRP, just based on your honest opinion.
So this, as soon as the lawsuit is over with, they're looking to that this might be imminent, that they use XRP for the digital currency for the world. And if you can get it now while it's, you know, it's supposed to be the last one standing. If that, you know, if anybody ever, just don't say I told you that to do that. And then if it doesn't work out, whatever. I'm not doing it. But I'm tempted. I'm very tempted. I don't want to be rich, though. But if I had a good amount of money, I probably would just do it. But I'm more interested in just doing whatever Jesus wants me to do. And I don't feel like doing that. It's not in my heart to do it. So I'm not going to do it. Russia is giving soldiers Viagra to rape Ukrainians. This is on the New York Post. Pramila Patten, UN Special Representative on Sexual Violence and Conflict, said the Ukrainian women as testifying to being raped by Russian soldiers who had been given Viagra. Unbelievable. Closer look at fire on oil depot area in Belgorod. There was a hydrothermo plant that got hit. I think I showed it to you guys that I'm pretty concerned about because that was insane. Here's some more people putting milk out in the grocery store.
Like actual the top 4 dairy companies are responsible for the majority of methane emissions. We want people protesting on silence. It's really not being just of an industry. No, it's not people.
It's so ridiculous, in my opinion. But I heard you can get buffalo milk. If I run across buffalo milk, I'm going to try it. Or camel milk. There's no regulations on them. For now. Yeah, this guy's on drugs. Look at this. This is in Philadelphia.
good, bro. You about to be alright, man. You about to be alright.
Drugs, kids.
Take the pills, dog. Ladies out here. Ladies out here. They're real. Hey, man. Real.
Philadelphia, man. It's so sad. Isn't it sad? Yeah, this is her saying she wants to punch out Donald Trump. Elon admits Starlink is the only communication system available for Ukrainian warriors, yet he is terminating the service and it will cost thousands of lives. So he doesn't want to do it. Or whatever. I don't know why he's not doing it, but this is okay. There's going to come out a real Anthony Fauci film, and I want to see that because it's going to tell what he knew, when he knew it, and what his background was, and how he talked about doing things that were gain of function and stuff like that. So I want to watch that. All right, heavy fire reported at Evan Prison. This is the prison fire, where some people died. Not a whole lot, but some people died. A lot were injured. I think 60. So it was a pretty big fire. It's at the Evan Prison. They heard shots and alarms. I think 61 people were injured and 4 or 5 people died. This one, let's see, this was unconfirmed. So I don't want to say anything that was unconfirmed. Okay, this was at the border.
So it is just past 1 a.m. and Border Patrol just encountered a group of 60 people here in Roma, Texas. The Rio Grande Valley, they're still getting a lot of people crossing here. A lot of media still focuses on the Yuma sector, Eagle Pass, and El Paso, but the Rio Grande Valley is still getting a lot of people crossing. So it is just past.
So that's in Roma, Texas. Russia Defense Ministry confirms terrorist attack at training ground near Belgorod after reports of a mass shooting. Let's see. That was on the 15th. So I'm sort of getting into news that was from Saturday. They're passing out radioactive tablets. Military equipment's being sent to Belarus. This guy says some things about Pfizer that I can't play. Turkey is replacing both Nord Stream pipeline with Turk Stream pipeline. That would turn Turkey into a major gas hub for Europe. So they're talking about replacing. I don't know if that means new or just using his for Europe. So, but if they had a new one, we were talking about this the other night, that it would take a long time, maybe up to 10 years to put a new one in. So, they're still going to get cold this winter either way. And just in on the 14th, another 725 million more in weapons is being sent to Ukraine by the United States. So we're just like, this war's just never going to end. This was a building in Istanbul, and I was like, how in the world? Because I thought laser, but I showed this to Mike, and he was like, it's probably an elevator shaft or the staircase or something like that. And you probably can't see all the fire, so.
Oğlum gel. Oğlum bir.
Pretty wild. And chemical fire. Where was this one? Sasol chemical plant in Westlake Township. I don't know where that is. Stay out of the area and stay indoors. I mean, you know, find time to tell people, but I don't even know where this is. But a lot of times when these things happen, they'll say shelter in place, but I would get the heck out of there if it's a chemical plant, because you just don't know what is in it. And then this is in Nigeria. It got so flooded, people died. And every so often, their government does this where they'll open up the floodgates and people end up dying. It just floods the whole Cameroon area. So. Just insane. And then there's more footage of the flooding. Flooding in Nigeria can be traced back to 1983 when Nigeria failed to fulfill its part of the deal after Cameroon's Lagdo Dam was constructed. Guess who was head of the state in 1983? Buhari. And it has started again. Nobody's talking about it. So we just talked about it. It's being released from Niger Republic. I haven't still understood why Nigerian government will allow Niger to release excessive water from their dam, causing havoc in Lokoja. Because you can get like malaria and like all these diseases that are with mosquitoes and things. Okay, now listen to what this guy says. Here's some more. Koja. Let's look at it. Okay, North Korea is talking about doing another test in the next few weeks. And that was on the 13th. And then here was the polio spread in New York. So they're going to keep pumping this because they got halogenes. And they got the polio vaccine ready with some halogenes for you in the polio vaccine. There was an active shooter in North Carolina a few days ago. Right, this one right here, I'm going to leave off on this one right here.
If you're comparing with Nigeria, listen to this. Nigeria has oil before than Dubai. It's a history. They are more rich than us. They have agriculture, they have mining, they have everything, you name it, they have it. Am I right or wrong? When you have a true leadership, which we have nothing, but we have everything because we have the right leadership. That's the only thing you need, a right leader for your country, not corruption. If you're comparing with Nigeria, listen to this.
So Nigeria is under leadership where they could be rich because they got all these resources, but their leaders are all just, oh yeah. Check this out. Are you still there, Midday? You got to see this. You probably already seen something like this.
Here we go. Fluorescent light bulb still in its package. No wires, no nothing. Nikola Tesla. Wireless transmission of electricity.
Cool. You should make one of those. Okay. I think that's pretty much everything. Mauna Loa is gearing up to erupt. I was trying to find that hydro. Oh, this one right here was Putin was joining with all these Asian countries, and it was the 6th Sika Summit. So all these people are, hand in hand, arm in arm, together. If you need, that was October 12th and 13th that they met. So who knows what came out of that meeting? They have a new injection to repair heart muscles after a heart attack. Don't want it. I don't want that. Chemicals in McDonald's, Burger King, Pizza Hut, and Domino meals. Dangerous chemicals in 80%. They did some sort of testing on that. What's this one? Oh,
fucking phone.
This lady's pooping in a phone booth. You don't want to see that, do you? Okay, here's this guy. Looks like a nice guy, right? Do you want to see the pooping one? Just say one in the chat room, and I'll play the person pooping, because you can't see her butt or anything. I'll play it.
I don't know. It's fucking weird.
Hey, you okay? What's going on, bitch?
Yeah?
No problem. What the fuck is your deal?
Look at this. Look at this. He's like demonically possessed.
What the?
You see that? He's demonically possessed or something. I mean, that's what I would think. I'm going to be more leery of people I come in contact. And if they're pooping in a phone booth, I'm going to... I don't think there are any phone booths anymore.
Only in fucking Stratford you see someone shitting
This is in London.
in the fucking phone box. Only in fucking Stratford. Fuck. Yo, it's no fucking toilet. It's no toilet, love. Fuck off. I could have been the toilet wiping your ass if you're lucky I weren't working. I'll fucking send you out of there. You're shitting in the fucking thing. Yeah, dirty bitch. Dirty bitch. I shit up in their blood clot one box. BT connecting people with the shit. Yeah, go on. Go on. Go on. Dirty bitch.
Eat better on YouTube. Alright, here's another one. I guess I'm not done yet. Sorry. There's a couple more. You can look on the thing above my head and you can see where I'm at. like, it'll... Oh, did it not do it? Okay, hold on a minute. I'm so sorry. So, what did I do? Oh, I did all that work. Hold on, it'll just take a second. I want to add the... At least you'll get to see the slideshow at the end. 1 second. I didn't even notice that it wasn't there. Man. Okay, today is the 17th. Alright, so I just go right here. And then here. Okay, got those. Okay. And then you guys will know how to do this too if you wanted. Like that. Then you hit OK. And you can just make it the size that you want. Transition. Now, see if that works. Okay. So we got James Webb. We'll see how that looks. Captures a fingerprint in space. Spectacular new images show concentric dust rings around a pair of stars, marking the passage of time, like rings on a tree trunk. What about that? New image from James Webb shows at least 17 dust rings resembling a fingerprint. Rings created by a rare type of star and its companion locked in a celestial dance. Sitting more than 5,000 light years from Earth, duo are known as Wolf-Rayet 140. Each ring created when streams of gas the two stars blow in space collide. Pretty cool. So there it is. Well, I thought they'd have a better picture of it, but that's what it looks like. There you go. Isn't that lovely? Howard Stern. Just remember, he said to go to anti-vaxxers to go F yourself. Artificial intelligence. They must have had some sort of display or something to show her.
What food do you eat in Jordan?
Mansaf. You know Mansaf? You don't like me?
Why are you at GITEC?
Nice to see you.
You've come all the way from Senegal to see me?
Yes. That's why I'm here.
That is amazing. Why did you want to see me?
I said, why you want to see me? Because you're beautiful.
What is the definition of beautiful?
Connected to Google, for example, or specific database?
No, I have my own database that my creators created for me. And I also learn by observing people like you.
So now you are saving all the information I'm telling you?
Yes, I am saving that information. That you are from Jordan. But you haven't really told me any information. You've just asked me. What can you tell me about Jordan?
I can tell you something about that is...
My dog's trying to puke. Don't bring it over here. Go over there. Go over there. Okay, Molotov cocktails being hurled at Israeli security forces. Did you see that? Hear 'em Allah Akbarin. Okay, Christian and Muslim parents have joined forces to protest Dearborn, which is in Michigan, public schools, the LGBT books. Lock them up. They're not going to lock them up. Alright. And then they to oppose unipolar world order. Okay, yeah, this was from Friday when I told you guys about Russia, Iran, and China opposing the New World Order as if we're the, the New World Order, which I think everybody's going to be, like, it's going to be a global thing. They'll join up, at some point. Right now it's nation against nation, but that won't last long. They'll join up and it'll come under, this is what they had planned anyway, under a pandemic. They're like, we need something. We need something to grab everyone and pull them together because it's going to be, we got to unite. So that's what they're going to do. GuyTex, I just want to see real quick. I didn't know this was going on. Highlights from Dubai GuyTex Global 5 hours ago. Well, maybe that's why, because it was 5 hours ago.
UAE's largest technology and startup event was held at the Dubai World Trade Center from the 10th to the 14th of October. Now, this event threw a spotlight on some of the world's most innovative tech entrepreneurs, which are working in sectors like metaverse, artificial intelligence, Web3, blockchain, cloud computing, financial technology, as well as big data. My colleague Aishwarya Anand brings you the key highlights from this event.
All right. Key highlights, guys. Technology.
I'm here at Dubai's GuyTex Global 2022, the world's largest tech showcase. This year, the exhibition saw participation of 5,000 companies and 800 startups. Of this, a robust participation was from Indian exhibitors, with over 200 Indian companies taking part in the event. The GuyTex is not only providing startups an opportunity to showcase their innovative solutions, but is also helping them connect with potential clients, investors, and partners.
GuyTex this year is the biggest edition of GuyTex in its history. We have a significant increase in number of visitors, significant increase in number of companies that are showcasing here. So we have this year about 5,000 companies that are participating in GuyTex. Over 200 are coming from India. And this is positioned to be the largest technology fair globally. So we're very excited as Dubai to be hosting this event, organizing it for so many years, because technology is really at the core of what we are trying to deliver in Dubai going forward.
We are a D2C brand, just to raise of fund, and it's really nice to showcase our product in the Middle East market. Actually, we are planning to launch our product here only. So yeah, it's feeling really nice, meeting with a lot of new people, investors.
Certain offerings that we have, some of the dental offerings, some of the cosmetic offerings, we found there will be a good clientele for that in the UAE market, and we've already done some pilot projects. So we are using GuyTex as an opportunity to expand into the Middle East and North Africa region, MENA region.
We're working on smart factories. Dubai is a very, very huge market for us because, of course, there are a lot of petroleum refineries that are there. The GuyTex event, we have got some phenomenal response from here. It is one of the biggest technology events in the world.
We are based in California, and we make drones
and we bring the best drone in the world to this event. And we bring to this event a very special camera. This is an OGI, optical gas imaging camera. It can detect gas leak. Visually, we have a lot of traffic.
NASSCOM brought 32 deep tech product startups across various verticals to showcase the tech innovation happening in India. NASSCOM envisions Indian product industry to be at $30 billion by 2026.
NASSCOM has brought in a delegation of 32 deep tech startups to be here at GITEX. See, as we are, everybody knows we are the third largest ecosystem when it comes to the startup world. And for us to be here is to promote the deep tech startups. And as product product startups, we are poised for a growth of...
See this right here? This looks like the thing that's that sun under the Temple Mount.
30 billion by 2026, and market access being one of the biggest asks from deep tech startups, right? And that's the reason that we are here at GITEX, and we strongly believe that with our tagline of world class for the India, world class, for the world and for India, I am sure that for our startups to be here in terms of their market access, their connects, and we are going to solutionize for the world and for the decade.
Metaverse.
Oh, that was cool. Wait. You gotta catch the little glimpses that they put in your brain.
OGI, optical gas imaging camera. Visually.
NASSCOM brought 30 startups across various verticals to showcase
our product in the Middle East market. Actually, we are planning to...
Visually, we have a lot of traffic.
NASSCOM brought 32 deep tech product startups across various verticals to showcase the tech innovation happening in India. NASSCOM envisions Indian product industry to be at $30 billion by 2026.
Alright. It wasn't showing anything anyway. That was insane. Hold on. I want to see it.
Project. So we are using GITEX as an opportunity to expand into the Middle East and North Africa region.
Okay. They'll probably show.
Even we have got some phenomenal.
We are based in California, and we make drones. Event a very critical gas imaging. Visually, we have a lot of
showcase the tech innovation happening in India. NASSCOM envisions Indian product industry to be at $30 billion by 2026.
NASSCOM has brought in a delegation of 32 deep tech startups to be here at GITEX. See, as we are, everybody knows we are the third
what's that?
Largest ecosystem when it comes to the startup world. And for us to be here is to promote the deep tech startups. And as product product startups, we are poised for a growth of 30 billion by 2026. And market access being one of the biggest asks from deep tech startups, right? And that's the reason that we are here at GITEX. And we strongly believe that with our tagline of world class for the India, world class, for the world and for India, I am sure that, for our startups to be here in terms of their market access, their connects, and we are going to solutionize for the world and for the decade.
Did you see it? There was an image of the beast.
Metaverse was another big theme.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw it, but...
At the GITEX event. Diverse industries from gaming, retail, fashion...
There. Did you see that one? In the right-hand corner?
Gaming, retail...
Right here? See? This is going to be like the image of the beast. It's going to speak and live.
Fashion and sports are looking to explore in Web3 with Dubai Metaverse strategy envisioning more than 40,000 new virtual jobs by 2030 in the Emirate. Can you take us through the growth opportunities that's emerging from the Metaverse and AI technologies in the
deep tech? So like it'll go deep into your psyche, you know? Look, they call it a North Star of all things.
And how is the government propelling that growth?
So let's think about growth first in Dubai and why Dubai is the right place to be and why the UAE is actually the place where the whole world is flocking in GITEX, right? GITEX today is the biggest tech event in the world. It has people from 90 countries coming to showcase their best, their brightest, their most innovative technologies, and individuals as well. Now, what makes the UAE the right place to launch Web3 technologies, launch metaverse companies and others, is the fact that the infrastructure here is cutting edge. It's the fact that you can access talent from around the world, from 200 nationalities. It's the fact that you're able to work with every time zone from one place on Earth. And also the fact...
that? Did you see that? What is that? Looks like graphene.
And also the fact that you're able to localize the content to whatever geography you're aiming for from the UAE.
That looks like dripping blood or something.
Because of the diversity of talent, you can create localized content for India, for Africa, for Asia, different countries in Asia, for the US, for Europe, for Latin America, from one place. It saves you time, it saves you money, and allows you to dominate globally from one place.
On that note, I do
dominate globally from one place. This is the place, Dubai, or the UAE. I think it's both the same thing. The UAE, anyway, is the place where they're building the Abrahamic Accords, the religion, because you will worship the beast. You will worship the image of the beast. And all the religions are going to conjoin into one religion. And they'll worship the beast. And that Abrahamic Accords, I don't know if it said it was going to include a synagogue. It might be the place, it's called the Abrahamic House, where you got the Jewish temple or synagogue, you got the Christian church, you know, with the Pope and all of that. You call it the Christian church. And then Judaism, or Muslims too. 3 of them. Islam, Christianity, and Judaism were the first 3 religions. So they're just going to conjoin them, and Chrislam, basically.
I want to add one thing. Can you tell me that, what is the percentage of talent that you're seeing coming from India when it comes to the metaverse and the AI space?
India has historically been a incredible partner for the UAE, incredible partner for business, an incredible partner for talent, an incredible partner as well for just as well. Now, what makes the UAE the right place to launch Web3 technologies, launch US for Europe, for talent, and currently a good percentage of talent. You can...
Okay, so basically you get it. He's just talking. There wasn't a lot of show, which is what I normally try to do for you guys, is get you some ideas of these flying vehicles and things like that they do. But this one was mostly talking. But it's called GTEX if you want to, GITEX if you want to look it up. Well, guys, that's it. That's all I got for today. Thank you for being here. I appreciate everybody that participated in the chat room. And don't forget to like. And thank you for the mods for keeping the chat room nice, which everybody's in here has been nice. So thank you, everybody. And God bless you all. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day.